Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. Today we are going to have our 10th video about the conversation activity video series, and it is going to be about parties and ceremonies. So without any further ado, let's get going. The terminal objective of our class is to provide students a set of questions and ask them to answer in an argumentative way by providing us reasons in their answers. And particularly, they're expected to talk about their national festivals and celebrations. They're expected to talk about occasions of their social gatherings and state their opinion about ceremonial traditions. So let's see how we are going to do this. The enabling objectives in order to achieve these goals, seen in the previous slide, is to accumulate our students with the knowledge of the cultural behavior we normally have in cultural events. For example, we crack open a bottle of champagne. It means we can just open a champagne and drink it with friends and family members in order to honor, in order to celebrate a cultural event. We can go for a slap-up meal. Slap-up meal normally means a kind of luxury meal, let's say in a luxury restaurant, for example. We may give a toast. It is basically in wedding ceremonies, people try to honor the newlyweds by giving a positive speech about them and honor them, cherish them. We may give gifts. I think everybody knows that. We try to give gifts to each other, for example, in birthday ceremonies, birthday parties. Social events, we have anniversaries. Basically, anniversaries are birthdays and wedding anniversaries. We have parties. We have, for example, bachelor party. Bachelor party is the last day of a single man before being married. So on the verge of a marriage, we threw a party for the person who is going to be married the next day. We have bachelorette party. Bachelorette is normally for a female single lady who is about to get married. So in other words, we have hen party or hen night, which is for a female lady trying to have this kind of bachelorette party. Just hen party is a little bit more informal. We have housewarming party. Housewarming party is normally the case when people try to buy a new house, and after successfully settling down into their new house, they try to invite their friends and family members in order to show them their new accommodation. And in turn, their friends and family members, their guests, try to bring them some gifts. Normally, gifts are kitchen utensils or even furniture. We have annual festivals. For example, we have Christmas Eve, we have Easter, we have Thanksgiving Day, we have New Year's Eve, Bonfire Night, and Valentine's Day. So Christmas Eve normally is the birthday anniversary of Jesus Christ. Easter is a kind of national holiday at the beginning of the spring, and normally it is for commemoration of the Jesus Christ and its resurrection. We have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the day in which, as a national holiday, people celebrate an entire year of harvest and prosperity at the end of the year. So people address their gratitude to their divine entity. And we have some useful expressions. For example, we say there's too much showing off. Showing off means pretending to be having a lot of financial strength. For example, this is the case when people adopt a lot of luxury items in their celebrations, like, for example, wearing jewelries or expensive clothes, and they indeed have forgotten the true meaning of the celebration, the true meaning of that cultural identity they are trying to cherish by having a party, by throwing a party. We have shake off some steam, or let's say blow off some steam. So this is normally the case after a difficult exam, a difficult test. People try to throw a party, have fun with their friends, drink, dance, and have really fun in order to get refreshed, in order to shake off some steam. Paint the town red is an expression meaning that people celebrate, drink, dance, and try to have fun by moving from one location to another, one bar, one restaurant to the other, drinking and dancing in a kind of complacent way. So they have complacency. Complacency means to have fun without any reserve, without any regard. And then we have to crash a party. This is normally the case when you go to a party while you're not invited. So you will be an uninvited guest. I think it is really awkward. So with this knowledge, let's go to the actual conversation activity planning. The first thing we do is ask our students to watch a couple of videos before attending the class. The first podcast is about prevalent idioms and expressions related to parties. The second one is a full IELTS speaking test where a candidate with a band score 8 will talk about festivals and celebrations. Very useful. And the last one is a complete video about 2 hours. And it contains all people need to know about parties and ceremonies. The first thing we do in class as a kind of warm-up is providing students a set of worksheets. Primarily ask our students to explain these collocations, to understand the meaning of these collocations, and use these collocative structures as much as they could. We throw a party or have a party, we will be the host. And if we go for a party, if we go to a party, we will be a guest, so we will be invited. And then we have family reunion. So this is normally the case when family members try to get together and celebrate. We have some cultural events. I think we have seen most of them. For anniversaries, we have birthdays, weddings. For parties, we have bachelorette, we have a housewarming party. For unique parties, so we have passing an exam. So in case you pass an exam, you could throw a party. If there is a newborn baby, if you are having a baby, you can throw a party and celebrate. And we have some graduation parties. So once you graduate, you can throw a party and have fun and, let's say, share your happiness with your friends and family members. We have annual festivals: Thanksgiving, Easter, New Year's Eve, Bonfire Night. Bonfire Night basically means when there is a lot of firework. And Valentine's Day, Valentine's is normally for lovers. I think everybody already knows that. We have things to celebrate. We go out for a dinner. We, let's say, reserve a table in a restaurant. We take our loved ones with ourselves and we go and have a lovely dinner together. We give a toast. We have seen that normally giving a speech in honor of newlyweds in a wedding ceremony is called a toast, and we give gifts. After covering worksheets, we will start our question and answers. So there are a set of questions. For example, do you like to party? Make sure you provide your sample answers. Especially these are culture specific, so my answers may not be really useful for another person coming from another country, but make sure to give them some sample answers. Do you like to have a party? Do you like to party? Yes, of course. I think it's a perfect opportunity to socialize with friends, to meet new people. So drinking and dancing is really fun. Apart from that, there's an opportunity to socialize. So yes, I love it. What is the most important festival in your country? So in Iran, we have the New Year's Eve. It is at the beginning of the spring. It is called Nowruz, and people try to have a family reunion. All family members get together and try to celebrate the beginning of the new year, the beginning of the spring. Do you think parties are a good place to socialize with people? Yes, of course. Apart from the fact that you will have fun by drinking and dancing, you will have the opportunity to meet new people, you socialize with them, and you can keep in touch. You can even catch up with your old friends. So these are all examples of socializing. What is the purpose of giving gifts? Basically, gifts are for expressing our love, for expressing our gratitude for having another person in our life. So the financial value is not really what matters. What matters the most is the sentimental value we offer to other people. For example, I was blown away in my wedding ceremony when my father offered his own father's watch as a kind of gift. It was really valuable to me because it was the only thing remained from his father, and it was a kind of family heirloom passed on to me. And it is a big responsibility for me because I have to keep it safe and sound and offer it to my child in turn. So it is absolutely a big responsibility. Are there any old traditions related to a cultural event in your country disappearing? Yes, in Iran, the concept of family reunion, especially during the New Year's Eve, is disappearing. The major reason may be because instead of spending time at the New Year's Eve with their family members, having a kind of warm and convivial family reunion, youngsters in our country prefer to go out, hanging out with their friends, spending time in a restaurant, or simply traveling, going to the sea, spending time with their girlfriends, boyfriends, and stay away from their family and loved ones. This is a kind of cultural phenomenon that we are experiencing these days, and I think truly it is disappointing. We have formative assessment. In form of assessment, we will always try to use feedback provided from the students' answers to the questions we have seen in the previous slide. As instructors, we never try to give feedback in the middle of the speaking of our students. We wait for them to finish, and once they have finished, we will provide them some constructive feedback. We have a special focus on enabling objectives. So in this case, we must make sure our students perfectly know the meaning of some cultural concepts, cultural events, festivals. They have to have decent knowledge about them in order to be able to talk about them. And finally, we give them tips. We provide our own sample answers, like the one I did in previous slide, but we describe them. We describe our sample answers as probably better alternatives to what the students provide, to what the students can say. And this is absolutely a student's responsibility to personalize these answers for their own personal use. We do not prescribe the right answer. There is no right or wrong in the IELTS speaking test. As homework assignment, at the end of the session, we will always ask our students to record themselves for a couple minutes and talk about one of those IELTS Task 2 cue cards we have provided them. and send it to our colleagues at the Correctional Department of Parsing Institutes for constructive feedback. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed. I think this is going to be the last video from the conversation activity video series. Make sure if there is another topic, another conversation activity, or another sample answer you would like me to provide, just leave them in the comment section below. Let me know and I will make a separate video for you.